So we'll chant 3 times Om and Sahana Bhavatu, the beginning prayers. Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Om Shri Saraswatyai Namaha. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Om Samasta Jana Kalyani Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahma Vidvaram Sadgurum Brahma Vidvaram. So nice. Okay, so in Kaivalya Upanishad, the introduction we have seen the importance or the necessity of Upanishad. And yesterday we saw one particular point, that why not only meditation? Okay, if I just meditate, will I reach the self or pure consciousness principle? So the most cases it might land into limbo. Okay. Same way today I also posed another question. Will I reach self if I study Upanishad? Or if I have knowledge of the verses of Upanishad? So the way the only meditation has the very rare chances or very less chances of reaching self, because you need various different qualities also. The same way, if I study Upanishad, that doesn't mean, most cases doesn't mean that I reach the self, I realize. Okay, because study has its own various levels of depths. Okay, I know mantras, I understand what it means to say. That doesn't mean that it will take me, these words will take me to the self. Rather, the approach should be with the help of those mantras, the help of those messages or upadesha of Upanishad, sadhaka or the seeker need to inquire into the nature of self. And that inquiry will lead towards the very subtler and greater truths in the area of consciousness or the reality. That is necessary. So, study of Upanishad is another stepping stone closer to the self-realization, we can say. That's the one way. Or study of Upanishadic mantras are indicators. They should be treated as a pointers. What it is pointed is not the mantra itself. The mantras or the message is a pointer which is pointing something else. Okay. So that is nothing but other way around inquiry. That is nothing other way around meditating upon the nature of reality. No. Try to follow the instructions, what I have understood, and more internalize it, and try to look at what it is being pointed. Okay. That type of inquiry, that type of meditation is been advised, prescribed by the great rishis of Upanishad or great masters. That is needed to be done. Okay. So the inquiry in the nature of truth will be of one particular fashion or the type. Generally, our inquiry in the area of the world is objective. Over there also we understand and then inquire also. When there is a matter is subtle. We understand it and then we inquire that how it is, what is the fact about it. So that happens in the area of mind also, in the area of the psychiatry also, in the area of quantum physics also, many different areas. We understand and try to inquire also more because the subject matter is subtle. But over there, the intellect is inquiring something other than oneself. That's why it's called objective inquiry. Over here, the nature is different. Nature is unique rather, because that's the only area where inquiry is not objective. It is very subject. Very subject is a object of inquiry. Okay? Very subject is object of inquiry. And that's where the scriptures, the Upanishad, the Vedanta, the Bhagavad Gita helps us. How? That helps us to look within. The scriptures helps us to look within. It is just like a mirror. The way the mirror, we look at the mirror, but while looking at the mirror, actually we are looking at ourselves, our face or whatever body part. Okay. So same way, while studying the scripture, while studying the Upanishad, Bhagavad Gita, actually we are looking at ourselves. So that's the great help by the scriptures, by the Vedanta, of turning our attention from world to oneself. Okay. And for that also, seeker needs the trained intellect, because intellect is by default focused towards world, objective science, objectification. One need to train oneself. Okay, with help of these words, I just try to look myself. That itself becomes a meditation. Okay, that itself becomes an inquiry into the nature of the self. Subtle inquiry. So that is a demand, or that is a requirement in order to gain the knowledge of the self. Okay. So the verses of Upanishad, are indicators, and they indicate the omnipresent reality, the consciousness principle, as oneself only. Okay. So the nature of inquiry is also again subjective one. Second, the question might pose that, okay, if the reality is everywhere, why not just focusing elsewhere? Why not just focusing elsewhere and just know the truth? Okay. But focusing elsewhere as a reality, okay, ultimately one has to come to oneself also, because we need to know who am I. Okay. We need to know our true nature, not the true nature of the table or a fan. Okay. We need to know ultimately our true nature. That's why one need to take a U-turn. That is sure. Okay.
Of course, when we say the self, we're already objectifying it.
We objectify it.
By calling it the self, whereas
self.
actually it's ourself.
As ourself, exactly. So objectification is the way to go for intellect to gain knowledge. See, the intellect is designed such a way to just objectify it, conceptualize it, and understand it. And this is how even the various branches of the science has also developed and keep developing as well. Okay, refinement and all. So that's okay for the area of objective science, but here the same very intellect will fail because of its own nature. Okay, and that's why the seeker of the truth needs this training to turn inward. And for that, various different practices one need to do. Spiritual practices, the upasanas one need to do. So that one is restful within and one is able to do introspection. Okay. Introspection is another powerful quality each seeker must have. Okay. That quality, that speciality is which that intellect is looking within only. Okay. Say it even mental level also, say it some intellectual level also, and then down the line more and more at the deeper layers of one's own being. Okay. So those qualities each seeker must acquire. Okay. It is necessary. Then and then one can internalize the teaching of Upanishad. Okay. Teaching of the scriptures, Vedantas. Okay. Otherwise what happens that I understood Vedanta, I understood the Upanishad, but then what? Then what should I do with that understanding I have gained? The simple word is I need to apply it over myself. Means I need to internalize it. Okay. With that same light, I need to just look within. Okay. So those part which is area of inquiry, a subtler inquiries itself is called meditation. Vedanta's meditation, where very subtle inquiry is still there. Okay. There is no stillness. Still there is a subtler inquiry in the nature of truth, the self. In Vedanta it's called Sajatiya Vritti Pravaha. Sajatiya Vritti Pravaha means pro-self or the self-consciousness principle specific thought process. Inquiry process, not a repetition process. Not the memorizing process. Because from outside all seems to be same. But it's not a memory, it's not a repetition. Okay, but it's a pure inquiry. Okay. Just to try another way, writing of the words, just go within the dark lanes of our own psyche, our own being, and shade the lights from there, over there. Okay, that is necessary. Okay, so this particular type of knowledge system, okay, is been given by our rishis to all of us. Okay, and the very first step is understanding the truth or understanding the Upanishad. Okay. Understanding means okay, what is written or what I heard, I understood it. Okay, that's only mere first level. It is also necessary at first level. That I understood what is being told, or I understood what is being written. That's where first level. It's okay. It's good to have it, but till what level we need to go, that proper understanding based clarity is in our intellect. One. Second, entire thought process is clear and reproducible in our intellect. Okay. So I understood it well, and just like a map, I have right proper methodological idea also. Okay. So that till that level is called dharana in Sanskrit. Okay. It's called dharana. Or tatparya avadharanam, another word. Tatparya avadharana means what Upanishad is trying to say, what Vedanta is trying to say, I understood it well. Which way? Along with all the thought process or inquiry process. So till that level, we need to study the Upanishad or the Vedanta. Okay? First is understanding. Second is a clarity. Okay, yes, I'm clear. Okay. And the third is all the thought process is quite nicely preserved in my psyche, in my intellect. Okay. Not only as a memory storage, but as an understanding. Memory has its own role play, no doubt about it. But the majority is a understanding. Okay. I can use it, I can apply it, I can experiment it with. I should be able to. Till that level of understanding. Such understanding brings awareness. You have a question?
Yeah. So do we go on this process ourselves, or do we have a guide or a teacher while we are going through?
Wonderful. So now looking at this process, the intricacy of the process, you see, it's always advised also and easy to have guide along. Right? And that's why in our tradition, there is, yesterday also I told that all the teaching is being given by the guide, the teacher, the acharya, the guru, to the student. And that process is rather actually the long process. What we see in Bhagavad Gita, that Arjuna gets the knowledge from Bhagavan, okay, and we see that so many slokas are there, and after all the knowledge of that Arjuna says, okay, now I understood well, okay, but in our case doesn't happen that way, okay. By once I understood it well and everything is clear with all the maps, understanding, awareness, clarity, it takes time. Or I would say, based on the seeker, the student, it may take whatever time or effort. Okay, but guide is a must. Okay, guide is a definitely must. That's why even in our worldly parlance also we see that any hobby we want to explore, we don't need a guide. I just write down something or draw something, or play something. It's fine for fun. But if I'm serious about it, I want to go deeper, or we say professional or whatever. The very first thought comes, okay, where I should learn from whom I should learn from, who is a good teacher around, isn't it? So any area of knowledge which is called Vidya, it applies the same factors. Same for the Brahma Vidya as well. Same for understanding this Vedanta very well as well. Okay, and this process takes time, and that's why it's called this Shravana, or learning that Upanishad, learning the Vedanta, demands the long, consistent, and diligent effort from student side and teacher side both. That's why called Sahaviryam Karvavahai. The both sides put forth good enough effort, isn't it? Okay. So long, consistent, diligent effort of student, okay, of learning Vedanta under competent teacher. That's necessary. Okay. Then it works out. Okay. So it's always hobby versus seriousness. Okay. Or rather, I would say multipolar approach versus I would say not only maybe single, but maybe like a dual, or maybe one or two or three polar approach. In a multi we say so many efforts, so many different types we have, and and that's where the mind is also divided into, versus single pointed, the focused one. Okay. In single pointed, something is primary, or one is primary, or two or three is our secondary, that's all. And then we leave other things, other approaches, other areas, other paths, because I need to dedicate myself into something. That is necessary. So that has been advised by the Upanishadic teacher as well.
One more question.
Okay.
When we are going through this process, can we be in the world and do this at the same time, or take exclusive time only out for studying this?
Actually, either is fine. Of course, exclusive bears result faster, you know that. Okay, in the world, by being in the world also it's possible. The only thing what it demands, its demands are more attention and priority. Okay, so we can be in the world, we can be just tied up in a few things also, not so much, in a few things also, and then we can pursue. And as and when we go further, our own the intuitive mind will suggest, okay, that we now maybe little more releasing ourselves from the worldly pursuits. That happens. Okay, and then we can just follow the inner call, or some suggestions also. Okay, that way it should be done. Okay, so the pursuit of gaining self-knowledge, it demands its own priority, its own the seriousness, consistency as well, So, and then it bears fruit, or at least I would say we see the light in a tunnel. Okay, we keep seeing light in a tunnel, more and more. That happens. Okay, so that is very first. Okay, so now having said this about the demand or the requirement from the student side, okay, now we'll just look at the Upanishad also, that this Upanishad or any other Upanishad which is nothing but the Shabda Rashi on gross level. Shabda Rashi means very different mantras at a gross level, but they carry the message or the revealing power of the truth in them. Okay, so that's why they are called very potent. They are potent. So the truth is very nicely been stated through these words, kind of preserved through these words. Okay, so that's why the study is necessary. Again, subjective way we need to understand it also while doing inquiry. Okay, Now, how the study of Upanishad is being done? Okay, what is the study pattern? Okay, how Upanishad teaches. Okay, so like I'm just telling right now the bird eye view process, you know, that how to approach the Upanishad, what Upanishad is teaching and how. So for that there are dual process. It's called Adhyaropa and Apavada in Sanskrit. Means Adhyaropa means that's process 1 and process 2 is Apavada. So process 1 means whatever understanding about the truth or about the world, about ourselves we have, for time being or process being, Upanishad accepts it. Okay, that world is there. There is a multipolar world. Okay, you are individual. You are body. You have unique mind. You have intellect. You have different karmas stored in a sanchita karma, etc. All different varieties are being accepted well. Okay, and then it is been analyzed in the light of higher truth, or rather objective way, because we have our own individualistic or our own level of understanding. So with higher understanding, same world, same our personality is being assessed. Okay, so that is called process of Adhyaropa. Adhyaropa, I can give example, like say this surface is dirty. In order to clean, we add on some liquid, some detergent, like that, you know, we add on. So same way the Upanishad is also adding on its own view about the world, about the individuals, about the jiva, etc. Okay, that's first approach. Then by doing proper inquiry, the second process starts. The second process is Apavada. Apavada means whatever our belief or understanding about the world, about the plurality, about the individual BMI is how it is not right.
Not right.
It is faulty.
Okay.
How it is faulty. Okay. So just like we spread some cleaning material, liquid, and then wipe out. Okay. We just maybe rub it a little bit here and there, then wipe out. So all the dirt and the liquid agent both are wiped out. Okay. And what results is a shining surface. Okay. So same way the Upanishad does in a second process is by deeper analysis and all, wipes out our wrong understanding or wrong vision, faulty vision about ourselves and the world. Okay. And what results? Shine. Shiny surface. What result is a consciousness principle. This is the methodology, this is the process, employed by Upanishad or Vedanta. Okay, Adhyaropa and Apavada.
So in Adhyaropa you only spray the thing, you don't
No.
You don't rub it.
No.
You just spray.
Sure. Rubbing is like a second process. Removing is a second process rather,
Yes.
if you say.
The first one is only applying.
Just applying and little bit scratching out here and there. Let us check what happens, what is inside.
Okay.
So, and rubbing out the dirt and the liquid agent both together is a Apavada. Why we rub it out? Because it's not right, it's unnecessary.
It's corrected.
Sorry?
It's corrective.
It's a corrective, we can say also. Okay.
But
Correct.
they're both together. The first process is allowing for how we are, where we are, etc., etc. And the second process is a corrective. So
In a way we can say, but there is one more thing need to be added. What we are and how we are. Our view also and Upanishadic view is also added on in both what we are and how we are. Okay. And then intermixed.
right, so they're both together.
Yeah, intermixed, Just like liquid agent is intermixed with the dirt. Isn't it? So same way, so far we are just having our own view about ourselves and world. So added on is a view of the Vedanta about ourselves and the world. And intermixed. And then how can it be possible? How it is right? All this is been done, and whatever is unnecessary, wiped out from our psyche. And our intellect is clean from all different wrong understandings about ourselves, ignorance about ourselves. Okay. And what it results is a pure self, shining pure self. This is the process. Okay. So that's one thing. And another aspect, there are so many things to say. I'm just thinking how much to say. Because I need to enter the Upanishad as well. Okay. But still, I'll just try one more thing. That the pattern, teaching pattern of Upanishad or Vedanta. I also say that also. That this is one angle of Adhyaropa and Apavada. The teaching pattern of Upanishad is the sixfold. Sixfold. 6 different ways it's been taught. The first is called Upakrama Upasamhara in Sanskrit. Means what is the goal?
War.
Goal. What is the goal?
What is the goal? Okay.
Okay. What is the goal? Okay. What I want to teach. Okay. That has been stated in a nutshell. Okay. Upasamhara means in the end also it will be the same only. Because see, this is I have proved, or this is I have taught. Okay. So that's the first. The second is a abhyasa, the study. Means that particular truth, the higher truth in the area of Adhyaropa or in the area of Apavada. I'll use Sanskrit words now. Is been repeatedly told different ways so that we can understand better. It's called abhyasa. That's second.
Is that an illustration? Like an illustration?
Illustration, yes, we can say, with different angles.
Right.
Right? Different angles. So that's a abhyasa. Okay. So that's the second one. And third is a apurvata. Means, apurvata means the Vedanta or Upanishad, what Upanishad offers, you won't get anywhere else. Apurvata. Apurvata of this message or upadesha. So this is a unique one.
Uniqueness.
Uniqueness. Right. Uniqueness. That is the third one. The fourth is a phala, the result. What result one gets? Because it's a quite a subtle purushartha. It's not like just armchair, easy-going music therapy. You just relax and no, not like that. Very, very alert you need to be. Consistency and alertness also should be increasing more and more. Of course, it goes organic way, but it demands a lot of attention. Okay, so what result it will give? Then and then I'll be ready to give my all, 100%. So what result it will give? Okay, so that is also been given. Okay, the result is highest. Once I gain this knowledge, I can say goodbye to the sorrows and fear for good. Okay, so that's a phala. That's the result.
You like that package?
Okay, so that's it. And then it's called Arthavada, fifth one. Fifth way, Arthavada. Arthavada is like the Vedanta or Upanishad is also criticizes those who don't follow
Oh,
path of truth. In order, criticize, don't for criticizing. The objective is not to criticize literally. The objective is to encourage the seeker to go in the right path. Okay. Go further and further in the right path. That's the objective. It's called Arthavada. That's the fifth one. Okay. Say for example, it's said that human body we all got, it's very, very, very precious. Those who waste the human body in all different kind of sense joys, they are fool. They are murkha, they are muda. It said that. It is criticizing, but the actual objective is to encourage the seeker, encourage the bhakta to go further in the right pursuit. Using the Manushya body, human body, time and energy in the right pursuit. Okay, so indirectly, the path of spirituality is being praised by Arthavada. Okay, and
it reminded of our parents rebuking because we get less marks, so they'll praise somebody else so that we
you look at true like that.
like
Yes.
that.
Yes. So that techniques even
So that we will study good.
We'll study
His
more.
son, his study got so good marks. Look at you. Yeah.
and the different way also that see that fella didn't study at all. See now what he's doing. He's just doing the labor work. He's very fool. So he wasted his time. Nonsense guy.
Yeah.
Whatever we say. So indirectly encouraging us to study well. Put our mind and energy into the study. Just increasing the mahatva buddhi or importance in our mind. Okay. That's called Arthavada. Okay. It is called, there is another word, Nindastuti. Nindastuti, together. Ninda means criticizing. By criticizing something, you are actually glorifying something else.
That is very common in India.
That's true. So that's the fifth one. And the sixth is Upapatti. Upapatti again, that knowledge supported by logic. This particular message, Upadesha, is supported by logic also. Till whatever level logic can reach. Because logic has its own limitation also. But it's also supported quite a bit. Okay. So this 6 different ways the Vedanta is being taught. Okay. So sometimes there is abhyasa, means the different angular teaching is there. Sometimes there is a logic upapatti. Sometimes there is a arthavada, criticizing those who are not following. And some portion describes the result, of this knowledge like that. Okay, so such is the way of time-tested wisdom called Upanishad. Okay, and it's always the conversation between teacher and the taught, guru and shishya, teacher and the student. Okay, all Upanishads are like that. It happens that some Upanishad doesn't mention the teacher, some Upanishad doesn't mention the student also, some Upanishad doesn't mention both, and some Upanishads mention both also. So for example, Katha Upanishad, so over there the student is a Nachiketa and the teacher is a Yama. Lord Death. Okay, so their teacher and the student both are there. Of course, we won't find who wrote the Upanishad. Okay, the teaching methodology is being given, that how that student is being taught by teacher, yes, but who composed is not written. It's not there, because those who composed were not individuals. Okay, their sense of individuality was gone long back.
Aliens.
Okay. So yeah, so that's great. That's why it's called. They were like a perfect instrument of God. Okay, and message came through them.
So these are the rishis and
Rishis. Those we call rishi.
rishis. Yeah.
Okay, those are perfect instrument of God, through whom the Upanishad came.
They envisioned it like in the morning also.
So that's the beauty of it, you know. So this particular person is an author, a signature, and royalty,
Publishing time.
publishers, nothing like that. Copyright, yes, copyright, court case,
Price.
nothing.
That
Like
is there. Price is there. The books.
the by publisher and who print, but no royalty.
No, right.
No royalty collector also.
Yeah.
Okay, nothing whatsoever. So such is grandness, sublimeness of Upanishad. Okay, so to make teaching easier, or that's the time-tested way of teaching also, like a student is learning from the teacher. Same phenomena is being given in Upanishad.
It's a stupid question, but we know who the rishis were, don't we?
We know the rishis, and but rishis they themselves never claimed it that this is my invention,
No, I understand.
right? So we have some documentation
Do we know
that.
who it's attributed to, do we?
Sorry.
Do we know the attribution? Do we know who it's attributed to?
Attributed by rishi, you mean to say?
Yeah.
See, the rishis, some of the rishis, we have some detail that this particular grantha or the Upanishad came from this rishi, like a Kanva rishi. Yeah. So that particular, and then what is name? Not a Svetaketu. So there are various rishis. It's been mentioned that because this particular rishi revealed
Yeah.
the Upanishad. Okay.
Gaupadya, was he a rishi or not?
Who?
Was it Gaupadya?
Gaupadya. I don't know.
Kapila Rishi also.
There are many rishis.
Yeah.
Yes, there are many rishis. So that way we have some documentation or some details that Upanishad was revealed by them. But the rishi himself or herself doesn't matter. We're clear that it came through me
There's no
as an instrument. Okay, so that's the beauty of it. Okay, so having said all this, we should enter into the Upanishad, but time is.
So one last question.
I think we can go in that only. From tomorrow onwards, I think we'll enter the Upanishad very first thing.
Right.
No discussion. So now you said the Upavad. Upavad, is it? Apavad. The two words.
Adhyaropa and Apavad.
Apavad,
That's
yes.
correct.
So that only the Vedanta, only the Upanishads can do that. So people who are doing Nama, Dhyana, Seva and want it will know. You have to do the Upanishads or the Vedanta study to.
That's correct.
Okay.
That's correct. See, Nama Japa, Upavasa, Anusthana, Upasana, Seva, Dana, all these are very much necessary to cleansing of our mind. Okay. make our mind negativity, selfishness, ego free. Ego free means relative ego free. To make our mind rajas and tamas free. Okay. For that, all different kind of sadhanas are necessary, are must. And once we have sufficient cleansing, chitta shuddhi we call so, is done, then and then the organic, natural desire will pop up that I want to know who am I, what is living, what is life, what is this world, where I came from, and all. And then I feel at that juncture only one feels that all others are just waking up and just running here and there and just sleeping, and again next day again to wake up and doing the same thing for what? Means the life seems to be purposeless. It loses its purpose, the external life. That thing happens. One or another way, that thing happens. So that happens only as a result of purity of mind. Okay? So those processes are a must. Okay?
That will lead to this.
It will lead to it. Okay? Once this process is in sufficient manner is been given result, which is purity of mind, then our primary objective will be knowing oneself. Primary objective will be like I want to defeat the death. Different angles it will be. I want to free up myself completely. Whichever angle one picks as per one's own constitution, mental constitution, that happens. Okay, so it has its own role play, but by mere that alone it doesn't work. Okay, one has to study. See, speaking of study, because I told earlier that it's a long study, long route of study and inquiry, and it's a long route. So long route is a law. Each law has an exception. Okay, so there are exceptions also. That some seekers that knew the truth, the self, in very short span, very short time span as well. Okay, but again, those should be considered as an exception. The way yesterday I told that gurus is a must, with some exceptions are there. The same way, the long process journey of understanding the scriptures, Upanishad, one must undergo. And there are some exceptions also. In those cases, only very short span, thing happened. Okay, so I think we follow the rule, and if we fall in exception, it will happen. Otherwise, rule is there. Okay, so that thing, and the last thing I just tell about Upanishad, rather about studying, is because this process is long, subtle, seems to be tedious also. We may have doubt that will I succeed? Okay, is it my way? Is it my cup of a tea? Like that, all these expressions might pop up in our mind as well. So over there, few things are there. One, as a result of our purity, based on sadhanas and dedication, the devotion to the God and Guru, etc., we get that assurance or confidence. Yes, I can know. It's not impossible. I can know, yes. That's one. Second, what other teachers also say, here also applies the same, that you love your goal. You love your goal. Just develop more and more and more love towards this goal. Love for the God, love for the truth. It is very much necessary. That will also accumulate all our psychic energies sense of importance also will increase. It will result into the higher preference in our life for the knowledge. Love your goal. Okay. So all this, the background process, background clearance is necessary. So because there is a cleansing process, such goal is not that easy. So we need to develop that love and sense of importance also. That's why it takes more time. That's why it takes more time.
It's cumulative, isn't it?
Sorry?
It's cumulative.
Cumulative. It's a cumulative.
You start off maybe not so committed, etc., and
Then over the
love grows and commitment grows.
True, very true. It increases the commitment. And I would say that also, that the process or the truth, which seems to be very hard initially, it seems easier down the line. Because ultimately it's talking about ourselves. Upanishad is not talking about some remote star, talking about ourselves. Okay. So that way, we build on that confidence, we build on that assurance. Yes, that's true. Okay. But for that, we need to shed away our understanding or wrong understanding about ourselves also. Then only it works out. That's the process we need to undergo. So easier for us to drop our wrong notions. Easier for us will be to accept or own up the true notion or true understanding what Upanishad tells. And vice versa also. If it is harder for us to drop current I, it will be equally harder for us to accept or own up the higher I. Okay? And based on that, the process takes shorter or longer time span.
You can't understand it just intellectually, you have to practice.
Practice also.
Because then one sheds light on the other. Otherwise it can be concepts.
True, very true. That's why on the top of understanding, there is a process called internalizing.
Yeah.
We must internalize also. Okay. We must internalize also. There is another word called actualize also. Okay. Because there cannot be two understanding or two notions about the same thing. About me, there cannot be two notions that I am the mortal being versus I am infinite being.
Yeah. You have to still maybe one.
Same locus I. One understanding says I am a mortal being. I should be careful. This, that, whatever. And the second understanding says, okay, I am infinite being. Nothing can happen to me. I am fully secure. Okay.
Two levels of reality.
But which understanding I have picked, that matters over here. Okay. Objectively, you can say level of reality 1, level reality 2 level. Which one I have owned up? That will be my identity. Okay. And that process is called internalization. Okay. That okay, I understood very well that what Upanishad says, what Vedanta says, but what is understanding about me, in my psyche, in my intellect? Oh, I'm mortal being. How can it be? I just told you the mixing the liquid with the dirt, the rubbing and mixing in all. How can it be? That's the analysis. Okay, and then removal. Oh no, it's not right. Remove it. This process, this very intricate process, and very interesting also. And I would like to say it's not hard also.
At last we get to shine.
Okay, I guess we can keep till here. And yes, tomorrow very fast I need to enter into Upanishad. Yes, otherwise it goes on.
You've always been shining. You've always been shining. You just have to reveal it.
Yes.
We're not sun-leashed.
In the cream.
Okay? So, Purnamada will do. Conclude. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. Hari Om. Jai Ma.